So about the last video, my recorder man over here behind the camera hit the end button on accident, so we're still here. But as I was saying in that video, we have the water system up there, which it kind of seeps through, goes wherever it wants to go. And if we go up the stairs here, you can kind of see a little bit more of the water system. So it kind of flows from up there and down, and it goes all the way down there, all the way down. And it looks like they kind of repaired this thing.
Oh, it's hard. It's a little.
They repaired this thing.
It's a little wobble.
I wish I knew where it would come out at. Maybe we'll get to that. But
Yep. All right, I'm recording.
Dad.
what? So we keep going this way. This is going to bring you to the mill. This is where the water system goes down. You can pause it. You can pause it. Okay, so this is where we start moving into the farm area, or farm village of the place here. And all of the fence things. This thing. What is this for?
It's no plow.
A plow?
Turning plow.
Oh yeah, because it kind of, yeah. I don't really know how this works.
Good job.
Yeah,
That's a corn planter.
we got a corn planter here. Which goes in. I don't know where this stands. You can hold it from right here.
Yeah, you look like you're going to do something.
And then right here is a cauldron. So I guess,
What's that sign say?
oh, what the world? Homemade soap recipe. Take one hollow log, ash hopper, filled with ashes, filter water through ashes to produce lye. Add old fat to lye solution and boil in iron pot. The result, homemade soap. So this is how they made soap, I guess, back in the day. Right here.
Right there.
Okay. And then here's another one of those things back right here. And what's this? Some hay. I don't know what's over here, but it's closed, so I don't want to go in there. And then right here. Okay, and what I'm sitting in is this wagon here. It's this thing they kind of rode, carried by, I'm guessing, horses or something. Very old, but the wheels, these things, kind of big leverage. You know how wheels do. These are where you'd sit, so you could probably hold maybe 3 people. And I guess they would carry stuff in the little cartridge right here. And this is where you strap the horses to. Oh! It's very old and rusty, but it's made all out of wood. Well, some of it, and most of it is. So it's kind of like a homemade thing. Make red. Oh, this is it. You still recording? So this right here is the little blacksmith. This is where they would make metal and stuff. And it's locked, but you can kind of see in there what they kind of do and stuff like that. And it kind of reads some description here. Blacksmith shop rarely seen today. The blacksmith shop was a vital home industry in Ed's Mabry's time. Here, Uncle Ed cleverly fashioned wagon tires, Andrian's tools, and various other iron objects for himself and his neighbors. So he was doing stuff for himself and stuff for other people. There's a lot of stuff. And then on the outside,
We wouldn't start with my superior fishing skill.
he got like maybe like a window or something. And then this is the water system that we still saw earlier. And then over here, walk over here. Another window. Wood logs here. Oh, neat stuff. And then here's where they kind of put things down. That's like a water thing. And then there's like a thingy. And then coming over here.
Are you a guide? Come for this one. That's the evaporated can. Go ahead, look at it.
So this is where they boil the sugar cane and make molasses out of these things right here. It's a little broken since it is really old. But there's nothing down there. But you come over to here and you, I guess.
That's the chimney.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something.
So where's the process begin with this here? Right there behind you.
It begins over here.
Okay, actually, Bryce, walk over to that board and it'll show you.
Ah, yeah. So, sorghum making is where making sorghum molasses became popular during the Civil War. When supplies of sugar and corn syrup were interrupted, the practice continues today in many communities where the sweet smell of boiling that thing can be enjoyed in the cool October air. And you got a few pictures here. This is like a horse.
He's turning that thing right there.
Where?
That's the press right there. See that long stick? Your horse would be tied to that like this.
Oh.
And then they
Are
would,
you using horses?
yeah, and then they would feed the sugar cane through those two presses to squeeze the juice out. And once the juice comes out, then it would come down here to the boiling pan, which is what you've seen over there under the shelter.
Oh.
You got it now?
No.
All right, come back over here to the press.
This thing?
No, right here. So a horse or an oxen would be hooked to that, and then they would run the stalks of sugar cane in between those two rollers right there, and then they would take and they would squish the stalks of sugar cane and squeeze the juice out. The juice would fall down here into a pan.
Okay, so let me say that. Sorry.
Well, I was recording.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've already told them. Sorry.
I didn't know. You didn't say you were recording. Is it still going?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he just explained this thing. But you would put sugar cane in here, squeeze the juice out, and the juice would drain there. And then this, where you tie up your horse or something. That's the thing. I'm new to this stuff. I don't really know anything about this. But, where else should we go next?
Let's walk up there. Let's walk up to this little shelter. Yeah.
So going this way on the continuous trail, I'm guessing this thing over here. Is the fire pit. They got a bunch of wood here, and then they got the fire pit, and I'm guessing this is to cook stuff, because they didn't have classic cooking materials. So they used fires. I don't know why there's still wood in there and there's no fire. And a good stock of wood. Probably all dead now. But you can see kind of where the shelter as well, how it was kind of built. And that's what's interesting about old buildings. You can see how they built it and stuff. Yeah. Count how many times it said things, stuff, and things.
Go.
Okay, so we made it over here. We're kind of past the shelter just a little bit. So we still got the water thing running. It's pretty long actually. I didn't expect it to be that long. People have carved into these trees over here. So that thing down there.
That thing.
Yeah. I need a counter. It's a steal thingy. It's where you steal your object. I'm just kidding. But you would get alcohol from that, and they would have to hide it because it was illegal back then to do that. Go ahead, pause it. And okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier, but this gives a better explanation than I do. But this is where the whiskey steal thing. Many settlers and early residents brought with them the knowledge and the custom of making whiskey. Although tax laws and for a while prohibition made the activity illegal, moonshiners have always operated in mountains and other areas of the South, converting corn into liquor. Have several advantages: convenient and compact to store, easy transport. It also provides a cash income. You can kind of see the stuff here that. So we got the moon. Well, it would start out over here. You get the grain. I'm guessing put in the mash barrels. And do something with the slop arm and the pot tail. And here's the furnace. You got the still up here, the cap, and the cap arm that goes down to this little, I guess what they call worm. Moonshine down here as well, and then it goes out. And they did it next to a river as well because there's easy access to water. Be careful not to fall here, because this is not very stable. But you can kind of see, compare it to this like picture thing. Definitely does not look the same as it did, but it's a kind of clear picture, but that's kind of the idea of it. And then, moving on, over here, there's a little bench over there, a little closet. Alright, so this is the bark mill. So it says, Simon the trainer used this horse-powered machine, again another horse-powered thing, to grind oak and hemlock bark for tanning mixed with water. This ground bark produced bark liquor for tanning hides. So I'm guessing put the thing in here, and it looks like there's spikes or something stuck, but and then the horse gets tied up here again. Because they didn't have electronics. It would have been way easier if they had electronics. But now it's easier nowadays because we do have electronics. Yeah. I don't even think we really need this anymore, really. But, yeah. Okay, so now moving on from that thing over here, we're headed to this little house-looking thing. This is what houses kind of looked like in the older days. this is okay. So Apache houses. Earlier centuries ago, log cabins were a common sight in Apache and in other rural areas of the eastern United States. Samuel and Elizabeth Matthews built this cabin near Galax in 1869. Made largely of oak, it has one room of each and 2 floors. Over time, the family installed a wood stove, a bedroom, metal roof, and weather boarding. And here's a look at what it looked like back then. And then you kind of got something like it here. Okay. But so this sign's pretty dated, but it says caution, low doorways in cabin, lower doorways and low. So here's some of the flowers we got here as well. So we got like the flame one, have the mountain.
Can you go in there?
No, I don't think we can. Joe Pye, butterfly, rose bay, tulip, goldenrod, car, galax, milkweed, fire pink, queen, yeah, etc., etc. There's probably more around here, but oh wow, you're zoomed in. Yeah, there's a look at all of them. Alright, so now we're going to go to the other side of the house, get a look at the front, and here's a kind of a look at the side as well. We got 2 windows, that's just like 2 floors. If you can even hear me from all the way over there. Yeah, so these, I guess it was like to water. Okay, so this is their ash bucket thingy. This is what they'll put coals in to clean out their fire and stuff. Yeah, and then they have the broom thing, which they made from scratch using these little things here. And it's pretty carved, well carved. I'm guessing they just used a stick, put some of these on there, made it look all nice, and you know what a broom's used for. And then we have these chair things. So these chairs are like they use to make a basket and stuff, and they make it by using like a weave method and stuff, and then it lasts a while like this one is. So and they're putting a new one right here, so it can last quite a bit. Because this is an older one, you can tell by the way it looks, and then this is a newer one, and this is the way this one is too. And it does hold someone. I'm gonna sit in this one because I trust it, but it does hold someone very sturdy, I think.
You push the pedals with your feet and it moves the strings that grab it.
That's neat. It also looks like an old school piano.
It does remind me of a piano.
Well, if you are going to do something complicated, this is just stripes. But if you're going to do a pattern like that one, there's a pattern book over there, and you have to string it different. And you also have to move your feet different. So it's like playing piano with your feet. And it actually looks like musical notes, the way that you have to do it in that book.
Huh.
That's beyond my technical ability. I'm not going to work on something for months just to wipe my feet on it.
Now she presses it in place.
That's cool. All right.
I'm using 2 different size strings. It's messing me up a little bit. But that's the colors I wanted, so mixed. two colors together and do 2 threads at a time. So it's slowing me down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, so over here we have this little doll looking thing. This is things that are handmade that they used back in the old-timey things. But they made this broom out of like a stick and some
Corn
of this
husk.
material. What?
Corn husk.
Oh yeah, corn.
You're
So
not correct.
all this,
That's what he's doing.
all this stuff. I guess it's like pink.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's like pink.
Yeah.
That's cool.
When y'all come back, let me know what your comments said.
And then over here we have these things.
Different kinds of.
The
This is pretty neat right here. I like doing this.
where's the okay here? So here's one: oak, acorn, enamel pot, copperas, iron soufflet. And then here,
I like this color, but
blackberry, enamel pot, aluminum, cream of tartar, iron soufflet. And we have yellow onion skin, enamel pot. They're all enamel pots.
Well, that's the different thing.
Aluminum.
That's the different chemicals that they put in there to make those colors.
Yeah. And here's walnut hull,
So that took walnut hull,
aluminum. This is
alum,
basically the same
alum and cream
thing.
and tartar.
I can't read that one.
It's got vinegar and stuff in it.
Okay. Okay, those don't have a label. Okay, these don't have labels.
Okay, let's talk about
And
this.
then these things are kind of like dusters and broom things. These are made for like dusting spider webs and all that stuff.
Talk about this hanger thing, Bryce.
Oh yeah, and the hanger thing. So this is like what we saw the blacksmith over there. That they forged this to make it. See, this could be like one big pole thing, and they had to manually bend it, make it flatter, and then this down here, they had to bend this way, and then like do that. Yeah, it's.
What would
yeah.
that be used for?
It would be. Well, I mean, to make tools and stuff.
Well, what's something you can do with that?
Hanger or
You can
anything.
put it in,
Oh,
hammer
yeah.
it into the
It-
wood,
Sometimes they would like take a hammer or something and then put it inside there,
use
like
it to
the
hang
wood to
like
hang stuff.
lanterns on.
and it wouldn't fall off.
Yep.
And then here is like the sink thing. So there would be like a thing here, but so this is just where it goes down into.
Here's the wash pan. Pour your water in it, wash your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over here we have like the different types of leaves and stuff. That's my line. This is stuff. So all these types of, and then Smokey. Smokey's a leaf as well.
What does Smokey say? What does Smokey? What's the famous saying Smokey would say?
I don't know.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Oh my god. Yeah, tell the people at Pilot Mountain. The American chestnut over here. A lot of info. This looks like a school project. I'm not gonna read all those.
Somebody put a lot of time in there.
Yeah, that looks like a thing that's like a science thing. Oh. And here's some more leaves.
A lot of time.
Here's another weaving thing. One of those chairs I was talking about earlier. Over here is also the chimney. chimney. You know what chimneys are. And then there's more stuff. So we're gonna go over there. And then moving down, we're going down to the mill, and I'm not talking about food. Motorcycles. Oh man, they don't have it. They must have done something. But there was a log cart here. This log cart pulled by oxen and a horses eased the job of dragging logs to the mill. For long hauls, a wagon or sled was used.
It's an imaginary cart.
Yeah, it's an imaginary cart. Look, I'm inside the cart. And then walking down, we have this thing. This thing reminds me of something from Scout. This is a lumber drying rack. So, freshly sawed lumber must be dried evenly to prevent warping and chucking. Ed Mabry used a rack similar to this for drying lumber. So it basically looks like a giant ant with a log underneath it. That's pretty much what it is, really.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But it's lumber drying. Oh, I see what you do. You put lumber in it and it dry.
Duh.
Right. So we're back at the blacksmith here. As I've been saying all along, here's the water thing. You can kind of see there, it's a little different. It goes like in two paths, and it kind of goes up instead of this flat surface. It's more curved, and it drops off right there and goes down into the mill. And it talks more about this one here. Oh, okay, well, there's ants on it. But such challenges, although operating a mill was never easy, Mabry faced special challenges. For one, the quantity of running water, which turned the overshot wheel and powered all of the equipment into the mill, was barely adequate. To increase its supply, Mabry built separate flumes or wooden throws to catch the runoff from two small streams. These fed into the single that thing, called a race directly in front of you. So that thing is a race. And here's a few pictures of it. And it goes into the mill over here. Alright, it's about time we wrap this up. So, heading into Alright. It looks like it's running. It looks stopped. Okay, and these are the millstones. These are used for grinding, and they have these hoof thingies. So like you would grind your stuff in here, and then it would run out to the outside and go down a chute thingy where he would scoop it up, or whoever would scoop it up. But yeah, I'll read this real quick. Oh God, there's a hole there. These stones are from a quartz conglomerate obtained at Brushy Mountain Quarry, Blacksburg, Virginia. They were shaped at the quarry, but the miller dressed or sharpened them with homemade chisels. Oh look, they're grinding up a can. They're grinding up a can in this one. Yeah, they're grinding up a can. Okay.
Oh, there's
Whoa! Did you see that?
you missed
You. All right. So behind me is the mill, and you can kind of see all this wood. But this kind of said, I'm just gonna go over the first one. This building has 3 sections. The center section houses a grist mill. The wing to your left contains a sawmill, while the section to your right houses a woodworking shop. Mabry built the original mill and both additionals about 1910. And there's a picture. It's kind of wore out. And you can pause if you want to read the rest, but I'm not going to read all that because I don't feel like it right now. Okay, so in here we have this giant thing. This is the sawmill, and in the small sawmill, Uncle Ed used to use the power of his wader wheel to saw lumber for himself and his neighbors. Logs were rolled one by one from the log deck onto the carriage and dogged in place with the iron hooks. The head blocks were moved forward the width of one board after each cut by means of the hand wheels on either side of this panel. The carriage was moved forward to the saw by means of an ingenious gear arrangement, which in turn was connected to the underside of the carriage and controlled by 3 levers directly behind the saw. If he desired more speed, he diverted more water over the wheel with a control lever on the wall behind the carriage control levers. Whew! Run out of air. Okay, so one thing to point out about these latches is these were also made at the blacksmith shop up there. And see, like I was saying about everything that these were forged, they would have to make all these by themselves and a bunch of work. They'd have to round this out, carve it and stuff. But all this is handmade, so it's not... Yeah. Okay, so moving into like the middle section of this, we have some of these books and stuff about talking about the Mabrys and their mill and stuff. Bunch of info books. I'm not going to read all that. There's a picture of it, like in 1937 in October. That would have been cool if it came in October. Compare it. Here's a little picture of whoever that is. Here's the little bag that cornmeal is in. Okay, so this is the grist mill. The 2 grist mills before you operated by power from the water wheel, much as they did in the days of Mabry. One mill ground coarse grain or chop for stock teed, and the other ground corn meal for household use. The customer stood on the mill platform above and poured his grain into a hopper, which it fed between the rotating stones. The miller controlled the space between the stones with a lever to obtain the proper texture of meal or flour. Water ground corn meal is still considered a special treat to many people. Alright, so also the 2 grindstones or the grindstones that we checked out over there are in, 2 of them are in here, so it can grind it up as well. And then right here is also a gourd, which thinks is just a prototype, but it is a gourd. And also the special, wait, did you start it? Okay. The special thing about a gourd is they would put it into wells and stuff, and they would have to like cut it and stuff. And that's why it would be long, probably not as long as this thing, or This probably is shorter, but you would put it down.
You'd cut a hole into it to make it like a cup.
You cut a hole into it, and then you would dip it into the well and drink water out of it. So.
Okay.
Okay, so this is where so once it's grinded and stuff, it's very, very loud in here. It would come into here, and then it would go into a hopper thing, come out, and be like this thing right here. When did they pass it? So you can kind of see what it feels. Oh, that's weird. You can't feel it on camera, but it's like a grainy feel. It feels like stones and like sand or something. But yeah, that's what it would look like and feel like. That actually feels pretty good. Okay, and here is where the water flows to. And like, see, there's the water thing at top that I was talking about this whole episode. And you can see where the water kind of flows there, and it picks it up and brings it over. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you can hear it. Don't drop my tablet.
Go.
And the mechanism down here, if you can really see it, it's where it turns and makes it the wheel turn a little bit. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so this is where this is like the workshop type thing. This is where he would do all of his woodworking and like stuff like this. You know what this reminds me of? Minecraft. Because like you got the grindstone here. Basically, like you would just grind, it would sharpen your tools. So you would take it, this would be spinning, and you would take your tool and put it down there and sharpen it. And then, these are a bunch of wheels and stuff. So, all this is handmade as well. Okay, so over here, so the reason why he has all these wheels and stuff is because the wheel is made out of wood. So over time, it's gonna, especially with the water stuff, there's a bunch of these wheels around, these spare wheels. And because he has to make his own, because wood likes to deteriorate and rot and stuff. So you have to repair it every once in a while, so there's a bunch of wheels around. And some of them are really held by like screws and stuff, some of them are held by like things.
Pegs.
Yeah, pegs. And then over here, there's like, I don't know what this is. What is that? You don't know? It looks like a roller or something. Look at this bird. My dad's yapping, so I can't record. And look at this bird, though. Just chilling in the water. Going.
Well, you know, a lot of times, he would probably do some work, and they would pay him probably in.
All right, so this is the jigsaw. This is basically a saw. This spins, and then is this like a blade or something? And then these things, they would move. You can kind of see where it's been moving. It would cut the wood in however many pieces you want it to be cut in. And that's how these things were like cut and stuff. And they would make contraptions out of that. And then this over here is the tongue and groove jointer. So when I think of this, I think of tongue. But so basically, you can see here. This is the groove, and then it's like a tongue, because tongues stick out, and then the groove. You know what a groove is? It kind of indents. And these were to be how like floors were made and stuff, and they would like connect. You know, like toys. They still use some of these methods in toys and stuff, like train tracks and stuff. So they would use that method to build train tracks. And then this over here, this is pretty neat. I like this because it's basically a toy or like a small model of what we're in right now. So we have. I want to move it because I don't want to mess it up, but the wheel, which is so we're looking from the back. I wish I could see the front. But yeah, you can kind of get a gist. I'm going to show like a window or something. And then both here, you can close these, and the window, the bird I already showed you on camera, but we can get another look if he's kind of just resting there. But you got a good view of the road, and you're like right above, so I think this is a really good spot to be. Okay, so this is kind of the main source thingy, but so basically there's a bunch of wheels, and this will, I guess this is supposed to spin, but all this water-powered lath over here. It's supposed to spin. Yeah, man drive pulleys. That's what it says over there. So. But you can kind of see the mechanisms like right here and stuff. That's complicated. And then this right here, this was also forged over at the blacksmith. So, and I think that's all. Okay, so that pretty much concludes the mill and all of this place. Pretty much all the stations and all the information covered. Go check out some other videos, like and subscribe, and get a good look over here. Kind of see like this, and then we'll go over there and you can get another look at here. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, hit subscribe, hit bell notifications so you never miss another video. I'm trying to do this new outgoing type video, so my dad's behind the camera recording me. And yeah, click on these two videos on the screen here, and I'll see you guys later.